Hey guys, so I'm going to do something I've never really done before. I'm going to share a part of my journey with you that really has a lot to do with why I do what I do. I've never really shared this before. I've never really talked about it with my team or with anyone in general, but I think it does have a lot to do with me wanting to pursue this Beachbody career, and it does have a lot to do with my journey. So I just wanted to open up and share it with you. Bear with me. I'm going to read off of a post that I created. So just keep this in mind. I just shared this in my team page, and it's the first time sharing this part of my story with my team, and for that matter, with anyone. Honestly, I didn't even think this had anything to do with this journey I've been on, but as I've been reflecting over the last year and seeing how far I've come, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, I realized that this is a part of my journey that has a lot of resonation with why I'm doing what I do. I'm going to take this back to grammar school. No worries, I'm not going to share my entire life journey with you, but this part of my life has really had an effect on me, and I wanted to share with you. I went to a Catholic grammar school from pre-K to 8th grade. It was a great school. I had amazing friends. Overall, I had a great experience. Back in the day, we actually had to either apply in 7th grade to go to high school, or we could stay at our school for our 8th grade year. So of course, me and my friends decided we were gonna stay because we were gonna rule the school. It's 8th grade. It's like senior year. You know, you're the top dogs, and that's what we wanted to do. My group of friends and I were really close. We did cheerleading together. We vacationed together. We were pretty much inseparable. There was a group of about 8 of us. And then it came time to choose what high school we wanted to go to. Keeping in mind, we can only apply to one school. Half of our friends wanted to go to one. The other half wanted to go to another. But I knew exactly where I wanted to be. I had visited a few of the other schools, but my heart had been set on one. My best friend was going there. I had spent a day there more than once, and it just felt like home. We sent in our applications, we did our interviews with the administration, and we waited patiently for our acceptance letters. I remember the day exactly. Everyone started to get in their letters. Some of us actually went from house to house with our friends to see everyone's letters and their parents' excitement. Balloons in the color of our new schools, pencil pouches and cups with our new school logos on it, and then some. When I got home, I rushed to the mailbox, saw my letter, tore it open, and the only words I could get through reading were, "Dear Jessica, we're sorry to inform you, you didn't get in." I didn't get in. Now, if you're not from here, you might not understand why this is such a big deal. Here in New Orleans, where you go to high school is everything. If someone asks you in a job interview, once you graduate college, where you went to school, they don't just mean college, they mean high school too. It has a lot of influence on how people look at you. In that moment, I was high schoolless. I had nowhere to go. I was literally crushed. My heart was broken, and I couldn't understand why they didn't want me. What did I do wrong? My grades were good. I was an AB student. My standardized test scores were good. I was involved at school. I did extracurricular activities. My interview went well. But none of that mattered because they didn't want me. I can't even begin to explain how I felt embarrassed because now I had to tell everyone that I couldn't get into high school. I felt stupid. Obviously wasn't smart enough or good enough to get in. I felt like a failure. I didn't just fail myself. I felt like I failed my parents. They worked their asses off to put me through a Catholic education, and I couldn't even get into a Catholic high school. I still feel like throwing up every time I think about letting them down, and I know that they didn't think that way, but at the age of 14, it's kind of hard to understand why you couldn't get into the school of your dreams. I remember crying to them. They called the school to see why I hadn't been accepted. They explained that although my grades were good and I met all the requirements to attend, They just didn't have the extra room. So I know now that no, I wasn't too dumb or stupid to get in, but at 14 years old, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand why they had room for all of these other people except for me. And I've kind of held on to that mindset of I'm not good enough and I'm just going to fail, so why try attitude. After a few weeks of trying to get in to my other choices, I didn't really have luck. Everywhere we had called was full. I had nowhere to go. So my mom pulled the alumni card. She called her school that she went to, Cabrini, and I remember walking in and telling her I hated it here. It didn't feel like home. It's not where I belonged. I belonged with my friends. I belonged at the school that I wanted to go to. It just wasn't fair. And I knew after doing my interview there that I really had no other choice. So I just went with it. Now, I ended up falling in love with Cabrini. It was the best 4 years of my life, and I thank God every day that that school I had dreamed of going to turned me away. So what does that have to do with where I'm at now? Well, it has everything to do with where I'm at now. Over the last 15 years of my life, I've been afraid of failing. If there were things I wanted to do, I held myself back because I thought, why even try? I'm just going to fail at it anyway. I've had so many dreams that I pushed to the side because I honestly didn't think I could achieve them. I never let myself dream big or think that I would be successful at the things I truly wanted to do. This coaching opportunity hasn't just changed me physically, but I've grown into a person who refuses to live that life anymore. I refuse to hold myself back and my dreams back because someone told me once that, no, you're not good enough to come here. Or no, you're not good enough. I refuse to let my life be dictated by my fears anymore. I'm going to tell you, in all honesty, that this business is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It takes work and dedication. And yes, I've even had times where I think I could fail at this. This couldn't work out for me. But as I've watched our team grow in the last 20 months, and I've seen our coaches leave their jobs that they hate to stay at home with their families while still making a full-time income, seeing others buy homes, pay off mounds of debt, the list goes on and on. I'm inspired, for once, to not let my fear of failing let me give up on this dream. This is going to take a lot of work. It's not always going to be fun. And you're going to hear the words no more times than you can even count. But are you really going to let the word no stop you from your dreams? Are you going to let other people tell you that you can't do it? I'm asking you, in 2 years, if you could be living a life by your design, if you could be at home with your kids, providing them a life you never imagined, paying your student loans in full with 1 week's paycheck, retiring your parents, whatever it is you want to do, you name it, this opportunity can give it to you. Now let me ask you, is hearing the word no worth reaching your dreams? For me, it is. If you're settling on a life where you're not truly happy, where you wake up every morning going to a job that you are miserable at, maybe you're at the starting line with talent and passion, but you have no idea how to use it to make a life of your dreams. Maybe your money and time feel beyond your control. Maybe you're lost and alone, and sometimes you feel like you might just break. Perhaps someone once told you that you aren't enough, and you started to believe it. But now you're feeling restless, and you know there's something bigger than the life you are currently living. I want you to know something. You were created for a purpose. You were created to shine. It's time to be free of that fear of failure, to fully live your life. You don't need to be ready or perfect to make what matters happen. Don't wait to live. Don't wait to take action. Don't wait for someone to say go. And don't wait for the right words or the best plan or the perfect time. Just start. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not letting it hold me back. I have one last question for you. Are you coming with me?